Welcome to the Miracles and Wellness Podcast. I'm Clarissa Booker, your holistic health coach and beauty expert. I know how stress can derail your well-being as an entrepreneur. I'll be sharing simple strategies to reduce stress, ditch stress eating, and replace other habits while energizing your day by incorporating more plants onto your plate. With small shifts that can boost your health, happiness, and productivity. Whether you're seeking guidance with weight loss, stress release, or just a moment to recharge, I invite you to join me. Let's optimize your wellness path. So be open to receive because I believe that miracles are for everyone. Let's go.
Hey there, friend. Hope you're having a wonderful day. How are you feeling today? So today we're going to talk a little bit about overcoming your lack of motivation, because sometimes it just hits you and you're just not in the mood. You're just like, not today. Do not come at me today, right? And just unlocking whatever that is inside of us to just bring out that true potential that will help us reach those goals that we are looking for our wellness, right? So we're going to go over some actionable steps that you can take, start implementing today after you finish listening to this, or tomorrow, but it's always good to do it when? Right now, okay? So let's talk about that a little bit. First, it's best to try to understand why you're not feeling motivated. Are you just feeling overwhelmed? Are you feeling stressed out, or your goals not laid out clearly? It could be coming from a number of factors, but trying to figure out what that is for you, right? Because to start, if we don't know what's going on, then it's going to be kind of hard to make any adjustments. So this is where we could start with awareness, right? So do you want to journal, go into a meditation to help you understand what's going on inside of you, to why you're feeling unmotivated or stressed or overwhelmed? And it could be something as simple that maybe you just have something that you need to complete, or maybe there's just too many things going on. It could be a time of season. There's nothing wrong with that, as different things happen for all of us in our lives, but just getting clear on that, right? So that we could take action. Because at the end of the day, you have to take action before you become motivated. Motivation isn't just going to pop up. You should go ahead and take a little bit of action, even if it's just when we say just starting with 5 minutes, right? Whatever that is, just you have to take a little bit of action in order to get started. If you just sit there on your couch, right, just thinking, I need to get up and do that thing I need to do, right? I need to go to the gym. I need to meal prep. I need to go for a walk. You're not just going to get motivated. So you have to do it, right? You have to physically start with the activity you need to do. Tell yourself, I'm going to give myself 5 minutes. I'm allocating 5 minutes to meal prepping, right? I went to the store, or maybe that's what you need to. Maybe you just actually need to take the first step and go to the store. Writing while you're sitting down, not doing anything, right? Just make a list of items that you need and just head over to your market. And as soon as you get home, don't sit back down. Do all the prepping you need to do, right? Figuring that out, taking that first step, giving yourself at least 5 minutes to start, and setting some clear goals. So after you figure out what it is, so you know what you need to do, right? For you losing this motivation that you need. And there's you figuring out why you're not feeling motivated, man. You're just like, you're overwhelmed. You're like, man, I have all this stuff to do. Work is driving me crazy, and I gotta go to the gym, and I gotta meal prep, and I gotta run a gazillion errands, and it's just like life is lifing, right? Which ultimately is why self-care is important, right? Okay, so now you could take your time to set some clear goals for yourself, right? And just try to make it as specific as you can, right? So you want to decrease your stress. You're worried about hypertension, or writing everything down as specific as it can be so that you can break everything down, okay? And then we could write your numbers down, especially if it's something where it's about your health related. You can talk to your doctor. You might have an online portal. Weight loss, I would suggest taking measurements, okay? If you're working with a coach, they can help you on the back end if there's different ways to calculate. There's a lot of things you could do there. So like even if you're working with us or somebody else, just having everything down so you can measure what's going on. And also it's best to break them down into smaller goals so that they're more achievable, right? So if we go back to the overwhelm and the feeling stress and the hypertension, maybe it could be like, I'm going to meditate for 5 minutes a day, right? And then as you might notice, as you get into the meditation for 5 minutes, you go longer, right? Because if you go like, I am going to do it for 20 minutes and it's new for you, that might overwhelm you in itself, right? You might be like, I don't know how to do this. I don't know how to meditate. I keep thinking, and you just have all these thoughts, right? And so then you might avoid it altogether. So let's start with the 5 minutes. And you could also be, I do know that walking is going to be good for me. Walking will ultimately help my heart, help my stress levels. So I'm going to add 5 minutes of walking in. Next thing you know, you're walking for 5 minutes, then you're walking for 10 and so on, right? Giving you these small little achievable goals that you could do. And you don't have to tell yourself, okay, I'm going to do it for 5, but my goal is to do it for 20. Just go with it, right? You could just be like, I'm just going to go out there for 5 minutes and I'm just going to start walking. Then you might start feeling so relaxed and refreshed. And also whatever part of the goal is, just make sure it's relevant to whatever you're doing, okay? Don't make it something off the wall, right? Just for whatever your goal is, make it pertinent to what you're trying to achieve. Give yourself a certain amount of time. Don't make it something that's going to stress you out. Remember, something specific and measurable, but still within something that's realistic that you can accomplish. And then when you're doing these, just being able to break them down into smaller chunks, which is why, doing the things that are more achievable so that it won't be so overwhelming for you so that you will not be trying to abandon ship, okay? Because sometimes you look at something and you be like, what was I thinking? So we want to try to avoid that, all right? And with this, you're going to develop daily and weekly goals. So you're going to have a routine set up so that you can be consistent. Because as we all know, consistency is key. That doesn't mean it's linear, okay? No, because we're human. And as I said before, life be lifing, all right? But you just want to keep going. So with that, you have grace, of course. So if something happens, you're doing great, and then you miss something, you'd be like, man, I didn't get my meditation in 2 days. I'm just going to stop. No, just pick back up. Pick back up. If you're on travel and for a couple of days, you just went all in because the food was just absolutely delicious and you were like, what is a mindful what? What is this? What is she talking about? Eating? Mindful eating? It's all right. Give yourself grace. It's okay. Just pick back up. All right. And when you're doing all this, it's always good to go in and know why you're doing it. Not just be like, I want to be healthier. Of course, we all say we want to be healthier, as everybody does, right? But going deeper than that, okay? So once you say the first reason why, go a layer in and just keep going in just till you get to a root that you're just like, man, I feel that. I feel it so much. And it gives you so much motivation. And that's not going 2 to 3 layers in. I mean, just go all the way in. And just keep going till you can't think of anything else to the point that you feel like super emotional. You might be like, say what? Yes. Because you need to have a good reason. Because if you're just like, yeah, I know I need to get it together. I know I should lose weight. I know I need to work on my eating. I just know I need to live this lifestyle that you speak of. But if you don't have a reason that touches you, that you feel called to, then are you going to do it? What? Are you? So we want to increase your longevity and your productivity, right? But your longevity comes first. Because ultimately, if you don't have that, you have nothing. And it doesn't do you any good to have wealth if you can't do anything with it. And there's something. Do you want to leave something to your family? Are they a big enough reason for you? And maybe it's something else. right? What is driving you, right? What do you think about when you're like, man, this is why I get up, right? What if something happens, you'd be like, that would hurt my soul. Going there to find out what it is, why you're doing. What is so precious and dear to you? And it doesn't have to be family. Just a lot of times it is. Okay? Just finding that out and being like, yeah, this makes me want to shift into a new version of myself and to transform into that person I want to be. And you take that with you, right? Have a reminder of something. Have that embedded in your mind. Be like, so when something happens, you be like, yeah, no, I do need to hit the gym and do my meditations. And I have this wellness goal, this plan that I'm going to look at every day and see where I'm at. Check something off. Because I don't want to be burnt out or stressed out or depressed. And if you're at that spot, then let's work on it. Let's do the work, right? And get down to it. And it's not linear. So don't get upset if something happens, but know where you're at and continue on. Just don't stop, right? So finding whatever that is. And as you complete a goal, you check something off, you look at that plan, you're like, man, I'm doing it. Be like, Monday I was a mess, but Wednesday I got you. Okay. And you reward yourself for that. Talking to yourself with love and positivity instead of being so critical. We can be critical of ourselves sometimes. And where does that get you? It doesn't get you very far. What it does do is make you not want to continue on. So not talking to yourself in that manner, okay? Talking to yourself with the love that you give others. And if you haven't experienced that, give it to yourself. You have to give it to yourself, always, above anything else. And if you have somebody that you trust, that's positive in your life, that is supportive, sometimes those people are not there. Sometimes there's not the support of positive people. Make your own, right? Make your own community. Come join our community, right? Do what needs to be done. Okay? And as we're doing these things, just doing one thing at a time, and having your wellness plan will help you already have a system down. So you're not like spinning your wheels being like, what do I do today? Right? We have a growth system, right? That will help get you there because it's about growth. Yes, is it not? And just like you're giving yourself grace, knowing if something doesn't go according to plan, it's not linear because it's not going to be linear. Taking whatever happens as feedback, right? Reevaluating what's going on. Take what did work and evaluate that. And we can definitely help you with that because when you're doing it by yourself, sometimes you just don't know which way to go. You always could try it by yourself, but if you want the support and the guidance, we're here for you, all right? And just like I was saying, how you're talking to yourself with grace and love, just trying to avoid that negative self-talk. It is extremely important. And then the procrastination. So if we have our goals set out and we have our plan, this will help us avoid procrastination and put off things. And that then goes back down the not feeling motivated, right? And then maybe at the start of the day, when you start a meditation, you might ask yourself these questions. You could take a deep breath in and out. What small, consistent action can I take today to improve my motivation and well-being? And just breathe into that. Just allowing whatever to come up. How does my current environment impact my motivation? And what changes can I make to support my goals? That could be all levels of well-being. Some examples might be food, stress levels, the actual space itself. Just thinking about that, breathing into that. When I feel a lack of motivation, what thoughts and emotions am I experiencing in that moment? And how can I reframe these to be more positive and constructive? Breathing into your heart center and exhaling. Very good. Just breathing, knowing that whatever comes up is meant for you, and it's meant for you in the moment that you receive it, without judgment, always with love and compassion. You can journal on these answers. Then in the end, take the time to at least write one goal you want to achieve this week and the steps you will take to accomplish it. Until next time.
Goodbye, guys. Thank you for listening to my mom's podcast. Leave a 5-star review.
Thank you so much for listening. I hope you enjoyed this episode and are feeling empowered in your journey towards a thriving well-being. Also, share this episode to someone you know this will bless, as that's how we spread the message. And don't forget just to take 30 seconds to leave a written review on Apple Podcasts by scrolling down the show page and clicking write a review because it also helps us grow. I appreciate you taking the time to show us support.